I think as long as the artists are fine with it, just like Grimes, then it's okay. And I think it's like record labels not allowing their for example artists and perhaps the managers of the actors not allowing them to like get scanned and like become a platform, because that's what you essentially become. It's like if you give your voice and like allow people to use it, remix it, etc., then you're making yourself a platform for others to build on. And I think
Mm.
that's a very powerful position to be in, but I don't think artists are realizing yet that is to allow you're a world-renowned artist and to allow others to actually get inspired by your sort of career and your voice and actually use it, and for you to have on-chain value accrual there. I think
Mm.
that's a very interesting thing, and I think in the end that's where we will be heading, but it's going to take time. Like AI music had its moment, and I was like listening to only AI music for about a week because it was just incredible to like listen to Kanye West doing like just the two of us and things like that. But I think it will come back. It's just people don't understand it yet, and the potential there. And I think in terms of like uh, bringing in more revenues, the way of actually allowing others to use your voice is good. And as long as there's like certain like legal constraints, like you can't do adverts or anything like that, but if you want to create
Yes.
music.
No, I think it's interesting because you talk about the fact that the record labels and people like that are the ones that are like resisting. But I guess we've already proved that this is a great way for people to disintermediate those kind of companies. So you've shown that Gen Z has this appetite for this stuff, so they there's an appetite for these things, and if the like if the big brands don't provide it, people will just provide it on their own. And I think as the artists, so you're unlikely to get the older, more established artists, but you will get the newer ones. And as soon as they show success, then it puts pressure, on the other ends of the kind of spectrum to be like, how do we, how do I start kind of participating in this space? And I think you've seen people like Taylor Swift really question the structure of the musical industry, and who makes money and where does that money go. And it's, I think, easy enough for her to do that because of like the level of popularity. But this becomes an avenue for new artists or emerging artists to kind of monetize in a very unique way.
Yeah, precisely. And I think, Daniel Allen is the perfect example. His first record deal was actually selling half of the rights of his like EP
Mm.
to the community. And that's how he like bootstrapped his career until he raised another round quite recently. But yeah, I mean, precisely. Needs that doesn't no longer needs to be a record label in terms of if you need the funding. Obviously, record label takes care of other things as well, but it looks like a very sort of extractive business when it comes to artists starting off and then realizing when they actually make it that they're seeing a very small percentage of what they could actually be getting.